I've always struggled with second novels in a series. I've actually never been able to write a series. I start them and then I never be able to finish them, and I don't know if it's a little bit of self-doubt creeping in and that's why I feel the way that I feel, because there's nothing wrong with what I've done. And maybe me saying that out loud to you guys over and over again, I'll actually start to believe that. Hey witches, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Deidre and this is Wordy Witch Writes. I just wanted to give you a quick update about how my writing has been going this month, and to be honest, I am not sure why I am feeling the way that I am feeling, because I'm looking at the numbers and I think they're numbers to be proud of, but for some reason, I feel like I am an overachiever and I set very lofty goals for myself, and then when I inevitably don't reach those goals because they were too much, I get a little upset with myself. And so I think that's where I'm at right now. So if you watched my video last week, you know that I set myself a goal of writing 2,500 words a day. On average, I was doing about 1,000 a day before Thanksgiving break, and that's how I wrote my first novel in this new series. And this week before last, hitting 2,500 words a day, I think there was only one day that I only hit 1,000, and that was a day that I had rehearsal in the evening. It was Wednesday. It was just one of those crazy days where there was so much to do. By the time it came to write, my brain was just done. And I knew for my sake that I just couldn't force myself to do any more work, and also it just would not have been good. So I didn't, and I had been keeping track. I had put it down on a note card, and I left the note card on my desk because I was going to compare weeks, and I can't find the other note card. But this week started off on the same note. I started with 1,000 words in the morning when I got up at 5, and then I came home even after, I didn't have rehearsal. We had a snowstorm come in, and all afternoon activities were canceled, so I got to come home, and I was able to, during my normal rehearsal time, sit down and write. And I hit my 1,500 word goal, or 2,500 word goal, writing another 1,500 words in the afternoon, and it was awesome. And then the next day we had a 2-hour delay because of some snowstorm, and I wrote 2,600 words before I even went to school. So then I got Tuesday night off, and I'm wondering if that's where I went wrong, because I came home on Tuesday, which is a normal, not rehearsal day, but there was a choir concert, so I had to go back to school to watch the choir concert. And in between that, I didn't really do anything. And then Wednesday, got up and wrote, I don't know, when I got home from the choir concert, Chris and I stayed up way too late watching YouTube videos on river tables, and because I've decided that's what I want our basement bar to have. We finished our basement this past year, so my mother-in-law could move in and live down there, and we get a section where we have a bar, and we want to build our own bar top. And because Chris likes to woodwork, it's a hobby of his, and we couldn't decide what we wanted, and now we've seen those river tabletops, and we watched, it's a really long story. Basically stayed up way too late, so I woke up on Wednesday groggy, only wrote 600 words, which is about 400 words slower than I normally do, but it's fine. It was Wednesday. Then I went to work, had a really long day at work, dealing with the arrival of supplies and kids are starting to get anxious about finals and all of this stuff. And so when I came home from work, I was emotionally drained. We had rehearsal, all of that stuff, so I didn't write. And then Thursday happened, only wrote 800 words in the morning, didn't even try to write Thursday afternoon when I got home from work. Yesterday I only wrote 700 words, had rehearsal for 5 hours. We had a Christmas party, and of course when you let teenagers do potluck, all they bring is sugar. And then I didn't feel well after eating all the sugar that early, so then I didn't eat all day, had no energy. Chris finally put food in me around 6, and then I felt better, but we came home and did other projects, so didn't write. But all that whining and complaining, I really shouldn't be, because after 18 days of writing, I'm at almost 35,000 words. I'm at 34,936 words written in the first draft of the second story. If I want to hit my 50,000 word goal and be done by next week, which is what I have in my schedule for my lofty little goals, if I end this video and actually go write, I only have to write 1,800 words a day. If I choose to take the rest of the day off and give myself a break because I'm feeling kind of like bleh about myself, I have to write 2,100 words, which is doable because next week I don't have rehearsal after school because it's finals week and I'm not going to make my kids come to rehearsal during finals week. I want them to focus on school. And then I only have to write 15,000 words. And that means I'll be able to start my edit next Sunday, the 22nd, right before Christmas, because things aren't crazy at Christmas. So I don't know why I'm feeling anxious. I think everybody gets anxious this time of year. If you don't get anxious this time of year, leave a comment on what you do and maybe I can try those things, because right now I just feel very overwhelmed and like I'm letting myself down with all these things. And I think I'm just going to shoot for that 2,000-ish words a day. Right now I am at, within that writing, the pace that I'm at is 2,000 words a day. If I put myself there and give myself a little grace, I think we should be able to do it. I did also try writing into different places. I haven't had time to go to different locations, like different places other than my house to write. But I have been writing in the evenings on the couch. We have our living room all Christmas-fied. So like with the Christmas tree and stuff, we have an electric fireplace. I turn off the heat and just have the fire going. So it has been nice writing out there in the evenings. But it's just been Chris and I at home. So he watches YouTube and I write. This is probably why it's been so hard, because I'm watching TV and writing, and multitasking just doesn't really work for me. I did get the whole novel planned out. I don't know if it's really helping me write faster. I guess technically it is, because the other book, it took me about 7 weeks to write, and this one has only taken me 4. So maybe it is helping me. I've always struggled with second novels in a series. I've actually never been able to write a series. I start them and then I never be able to finish them, and I don't know if it's a little bit of self-doubt creeping in and that's why I feel the way that I feel, because there's nothing wrong with what I've done. And maybe me saying that out loud to you guys over and over again, I'll actually start to believe that. I have been reading, in other news, transitioning away from my pity party, because if that's all it is a pity party. I'm sorry. So now I'm going to give myself some tough love. I did finish Fourth Wing, loved it. There were some icky scenes in there. If you don't like sex scenes, they were not my favorite. I don't know. That's my one not favorite part about this, but I did enjoy the novel. I did enjoy the characters. I did get a little sad at the end. I was really glad that we had already gotten this one, because I started it as well. And I've been enjoying reading that. One of my students brought in a book this week, and she asked me to read it over break. It's called Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. So I'm gonna try reading it. It's another fantasy. It sounds interesting. It's part of a trilogy. I know his name keeps coming up on my Instagram for a different series that he's written, so I'll check this one out. I told her I was going to try to read it over Christmas break, but over Christmas break I do want to edit book 1 of this series, and I also need to decide what my writing goals for next year are. I also want to solidify my marketing plan for this series. I know I want to start publishing them in the next year, obviously, but I have to decide between when I want to do the releases. I know that I will be sending out, I have a deadline to send books out to beta readers. So if anybody out there is interested in being beta reader, you can drop a comment below and I'll send you a questionnaire and see if we're a good fit for each other. Again, my book is a cozy paranormal mystery set in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado in a small ski town. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, it's about a witch discovering her abilities and her responsibility, and I am a fan of it, but obviously I wrote it, so I would hope I'd be the fan of it. But if any of that sounds interesting, go ahead and drop a comment below and hit subscribe, and you can stay up to date on that. And if you're interested in beta reading for me, just put a comment down there and I'll send you a form to fill out, and we'll see if we're a good match for each other. I have tried beta readers in the past. Usually they're just my friends and family, but I'm trying to expand into people who actually read in my genre to give me honest feedback. I'm also going to reach out to some people on my Facebook groups. I'm part of a couple cozy mystery groups on there, and to get a couple readers to give me some honest feedback. That'll be I'll also be sending it out sometime in January, mid to end of January, depending on how long it takes me to do the edits and draft too. I also read my Writer's Digest today. I stayed in bed with coffee and I read that. I have a digital subscription to it, and this Writer's Digest was all about cozy mysteries, so it was kind of fun making sure that I'm hitting those expectations and like getting some ideas. I know for the next one I really need to go back and focus on building my world, making sure that it's cozy, that it's quaint, that it's some idyllic, almost idyllic place that you'd want to live, minus the murders. I need to like quirk up a couple more of my characters, so I already have ideas on what I want to do there. And like, I think that's another reason I'm stuck in book 2, because she's made some decisions in this book, and I know, like at the beginning of my book, I was drifting away from mystery and more into like paranormal, like not even a paranormal romance, just a romance between my main character, her main love interest, and I was enjoying building that relationship, but I'm gonna have to like pull it back because I think it was getting too far away from cozy mystery, and I need to work the mystery more into the beginning. And maybe if I just make some notes for myself today about like, it's okay, go back and check. And also where I put my character right now, we're currently in sequence 8. I have my board over there, which is the all is lost part of the story. And I'm not really happy with what she's doing or where she wound up. So maybe today I'm just going to like, I'm not going to delete anything. I never delete anything from the first draft. But I might just go back and rewrite, and I don't know, or fix something. I'll figure it out. Maybe that's why I'm not feeling it the last couple of days, because I don't like where the story wound up going with this. It's not feeling cozy enough for me. And so maybe my editor in me is already like critiquing it. Usually I'm pretty good at making her be quiet during writing, but she's already like chomping at the bit. This week, my nonfiction book of choice is going to be, I'm looking up because I have all my nonfiction books above my desk for my writing, and it's going to be it's about self-editing for the author, and so I think I'm going to read back through that, just skim it to make sure like I know what my process is. And I'm definitely going to be making a video about like my editing process, and we'll edit my novel together. Obviously you'll see me editing my novel, and I'll walk you through what I'm doing while I'm doing it. So that's going to be my next series that I'm doing. But yeah, I also have a bunch of Christmas presents I have to write. Maybe I just need to, my fail safe, and what I always have my students do, and what I usually do and I haven't done when I'm feeling overwhelmed like this or unnecessarily anxious, I make a list of things that I need to do, and then I figure out what is the most important and what actually needs to be done, what I can actually do, and what is something that's like out of my control, and like acknowledge that it's out of my control and like let it go. I don't know. definitely something about my anxiety this last week is like up there. I probably need to start working out again, but it's just been a slog. That's a good word. Everything has just been a slog. So I'm gonna edit this video and then get it uploaded so it goes on live tomorrow, and then I'm gonna try writing. If I don't write, that's okay. Maybe I just need to take a day off, make some notes on what I need to do, make a couple to-do lists, and go from there. But that's where I am right now. I don't know why I feel as down. Sorry, this video is kind of a downer. It is video number 10, so thanks for tuning in. And I can't wait. Hopefully I'm in a better mood next week. Hopefully the novel is done when we talk next, and you guys are seeing me start the edit, or we're celebrating. No, I don't know where we're going to be next week. We'll find out. All right, witches, I'll talk to you later.